We've seen Tom Hanks' name pop up relating to the Epstein files for a few weeks now, and in the past we saw that Ricky Gervais called him out, or at least put some attention on him relating to the Epstein files. Today we're going to be taking a deeper look, diving in and seeing why Tom Hanks was making this face when Epstein's name was announced and mentioned at a public event. Let's dive in and give a deeper analysis on everything that's been going on right here.
All right, so let's actually talk about what happened that night. Ricky's up on stage doing his thing, making jokes about DiCaprio's dating history, Felicity Huffman going to prison, Apple making their shows in sweatshops. Normal Ricky stuff. And then he drops the Epstein line. He says something like, "I know he's your friend, but I don't care."
Now, we've seen this before. We've spoken about him multiple times on the channel, but we never focused in on Tom Hanks, his reaction, how he's implicated here.
He's talking to the room, and the camera cuts to Tom. Tom looks genuinely thrown off, like someone just said something at a dinner party that you really weren't expecting, and now you don't know where to look. Jaw down, eyes wide, not a great poker face. That clip gets screenshotted instantly. By the next morning, it's the biggest meme of the night.
Watching this show, that's a show about a man who wants to himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, just like Jeffrey Epstein. No. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
And again, right there, calling out everyone in the room, not just Tom Hanks, everyone in the room, saying that he knows that Jeffrey Epstein is their friend.
Tom Hanks when he remembered he left the oven on. Tom Hanks watching Ricky destroy the whole room. People were having fun with it, but then something changes in the comment sections. People start actually analyzing the reaction instead of just laughing at it.
Right, and that's talking about what goes on after the event. Yes, at the event it's a joke, but then, content creators, news outlets, they pick this up and they say, is there something more there?
And the questions come out. Why does he look so uncomfortable, specifically at the Epstein joke? Why not the other jokes? Does Tom Hanks actually know something about Epstein? And that's it. That's all it took.
And transparently, he probably does know about Epstein. I think that most people in Hollywood do know about Epstein. Whether they're interacting with it in any way at all or not, that's another thing. But I think everyone knows.
Those questions started spreading within hours of the ceremony. And once a question like that gets into the internet, it basically never leaves. What Ricky said about it. Here's something that most people didn't really pay attention to. After the show, Ricky actually explained what he thought was going on with Tom's reaction.
And what we're doing right here is actually determining within this video if Tom Hanks is actually one of the evil that connects with and takes part in all of these things that are Epstein related, or if he's just an innocent victim that has a lot of things that come together that really don't lead him to the actual crimes.
In a Yahoo Entertainment interview, he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "I don't think he was against what I was saying. I think he just thought, oh, this is a bit hot. Is this okay?" So Ricky's read was that Tom wasn't uncomfortable because he was guilty of anything. He was uncomfortable because someone was being that bold in a room where nobody is usually that bold. Like, these things don't get said at the Golden Globes, and Tom wasn't used to it. Then, in 2022, Ricky brought it up again on a podcast and added a bit more context. He said Tom was basically reacting like, why is he saying that? Like someone who feels above it all, not someone who feels caught out.
So it seems like Ricky Gervais right here is actually saying that Tom Hanks is not guilty of anything, but just surprised that this topic was brought up at all.
Ricky's version, Tom just had his nose out of joint, nothing more. But by 2022, the internet was way past caring about Ricky's explanation. They already had a different story locked in. Isaac Kappy and where the real accusations came from.
Yeah, and you're probably wondering, who is this guy with some crazy hair? Who's Isaac Kappy? Well, he ties in pretty deeply with everything relating to Tom Hanks and to Epstein. And I think there are a lot of coincidences here, but let's tune in.
So if you want to understand where the actual conspiracy around Tom Hanks started, not the meme, but the serious Tom Hanks is a criminal stuff, you need to know about a guy called Isaac Kappy. Kappy was an actor. Nothing big. He had small parts in Thor, Terminator Salvation, Breaking Bad. Not someone most people had ever heard of. And by 2018, his career wasn't really going anywhere. But in August 2018, Kappy goes on Alex Jones's InfoWars and flat out accuses Tom Hanks of being a on live TV. No evidence, no documents, no proof of any kind. Just him saying it directly into a camera. He also names Steven Spielberg and Seth Green in the same conversation. QAnon, the whole Hollywood elites are running a secret child ring movement, immediately puts Kappy on a pedestal. He's saying exactly what they've been claiming. He's one of their own now. And then, May 13th, 2019, Kappy he forces himself off a bridge in Arizona onto Interstate 40, which runs along Route 66. Two teenagers actually tried to physically stop him. Authorities ruled it There were documented mental health issues, but the conspiracy crowd didn't accept that. They said he was murdered. They said he was silenced because he knew too much. They said powerful people had him taken out. And because he had accused Tom Hanks by name, Tom got pulled straight into all of it.
All right, so to pause for a second, what we're hearing is that this Kappy guy, took things into his own hands, ending his existence. And now, because Tom Hanks was implicated in everything, people are looking at it as if he had it done. Which, if I'm being very honest, seems kind of hard to believe. But let's continue with the story.
The Instagram photo. Okay, this is the part that honestly, I kind of understand why people ran with it, even though it turned out to be completely nothing. April 4th, 2019.
You heard, he said it turned out to be completely nothing.
1 month before Kappy dies, Tom Hanks posts a photo on Instagram. It's a plastic glove sitting on the side of a road. There's a Route 66 sign in the background. His caption is, "Historic Route 66. Roadkill? I hope not. Hanks." Then, 1 month later, Kappy died on Route 66. And yes, as you can imagine, the internet lost it. People were saying Tom predicted that roadkill was a threat, that it was a coded message to someone, that he ordered a hit, and the Instagram post was confirmation. Here's the actual explanation though. Tom Hanks has been posting random photos of lost objects for years. Gloves, single shoes, kids' toys left on the pavement.
Which is strange, right? It's a strange thing to hit the Instagram with, just random toys and stuff. But if that's his thing and that's something that he has a good time doing, it's fine. And I think that the two just correlated at the wrong time, where it made it look like he was pulled into something that he actually didn't do.
It's just this weird thing he does. He's been doing it way before any of this came up. It's literally just a quirky hobby that the man has. But this didn't land well when Tom tried to explain it. His son Chet went on Instagram and posted a pretty heated video response, basically telling people to stop because they were committed to their weird internet conspiracies. Tom had to turn off comments on his Instagram. He disabled tagging. The harassment was genuinely out of hand. Someone on Reddit at the time summed it up well. They said, "A picture of a glove on Instagram makes him a pedophile. Mankind is really screwed." And honestly, yeah, that's about right. The Greek citizenship thing. So around the same time all this is building online, Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, get Greek citizenship.
Now, what people may say right here is this him trying to escape, trying to get away from all of the things that have happened here relating to Epstein? As we've seen many others flee. Is Tom Hanks just another one of them?
December 2019. The president of Greece signs it himself. And predictably, people go, "See, he's running. He knows the Epstein files are coming. Greece doesn't extradite. He's setting up an exit." Here's why they actually got it though. In 2018, wildfires hit a town called Madi near Athens. Over 100 people died. It was a disaster. And Tom and Rita didn't just post about it. They actively used their platform to raise international awareness, push for aid, and make sure the world kept paying attention when it could have easily moved on to the next news cycle.
All right, so it seems that he's actually trying to help out those that were harmed by these fires, the families.
On top of that, Rita Wilson is of Greek descent. Tom converted to the Greek Orthodox Church in 1988. They own a home on a Greek island called Antiparos.
Everyone's owning islands. I mean, everyone that we've been talking about on this channel relating to Epstein, whether they're implicated or not, they own an island. Must be
They
nice.
go there every summer. Greece isn't some random escape plan. It's genuinely been part of their life for decades. The Greek interior minister at the time literally said Tom showed real interest in the people who suffered. It was an honorary citizenship for humanitarian work. Full stop. In July 2020, they got photographed with the Greek prime minister holding their passports. Tom called Greece a healing place. Very sinister stuff. None of the claims about him fleeing prosecution have any documents.
This is actually really, I'm happy to hear. I've actually been someone that really has enjoyed Tom Hanks, as many have in the acting scene over the years. He's been in some of my favorite movies. And when you hear about some of these people that are being pulled into Epstein-related things, it kind of like makes your heart stop for a second. So I'm actually happy to hear that things relating to Epstein are a lot lighter than a lot of people are making it seem online. But let's continue.
Any sources or any basis in reality. They just sounded plausible to people who already believed the other stuff. The Epstein files and the fake lists. And then January 2026 rolls around and the Epstein files drop. All 3.5 million pages of them. This was a huge moment. People had been waiting for years. The theory was always, once those files come out, we'll finally see all the names. Everyone who was connected to Epstein, all of it.
Which we're still not. We're still not seeing all the names. We're still not seeing all of it, of course.
And within hours of the release, posts started going viral claiming Tom Hanks was in the documents. Screenshots everywhere, highlighted names, people sharing it millions of times. He's finally been exposed. It's over for him. Fact checkers got to work. And Deutsche Welle, one of the most credible news organizations in Europe, looked into it properly. Their conclusion was pretty clear. The whole thing was completely fabricated. Not misleading, not taken out of context. Fabricated. The screenshots showing Tom's name were digitally manipulated. A Greek foreign minister that several posts referenced, that person doesn't exist. Claims that Tom's Greek citizenship got revoked because of the Epstein connection? False. He's still a Greek citizen. Nothing was revoked. Nothing happened. Tom Hanks is not in the Epstein files.
Is this enough for you to believe that Tom Hanks is free and clear of any guilt? For me, it lets me lay a little bit more well-rested, knowing that he was actually not part of anything relating to Epstein. Your thoughts down below, please.